Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine, just for a moment, the absolute bedrock of our national security, our most
Yeah.
advanced defense systems. And they're facing this, well, this almost invisible threat, but it's genuinely catastrophic.
Hmm.
We're talking about a brain-drained, irreplaceable knowledge just walking out the door.
Hmm.
And at the same time, technology is just exploding in complexity. So today we're doing a deep dive into this really urgent challenge. It's hitting the U.S. aerospace and defense sector, the A&D sector, and we're looking at a pretty revolutionary technology aiming to fix it, spatial AI.
Yeah, what's really fascinating here, I think, is it goes beyond just the tech specs. This
Ah.
isn't, a simple maintenance issue or an HR headache. Our sources are framing this as a strategic imperative, really fundamental. It directly impacts national security, our operational edge, the readiness of our forces. The stakes are, well, frankly, they couldn't be higher.
Exactly. So our mission today is to really dig into EON Reality's mission readiness platform. We'll break down how it weaves together extended reality, that's XR, and artificial intelligence, AI, how it tackles this looming crisis head on. We're going to distill the key insights from the sources we've looked at, get under the hood a bit, and see what it means for, critical skills, keeping that vital knowledge safe, and really the future of these complex defense systems.
Right.
And our sources, they paint this picture. It's compelling, maybe a little alarming. They call it a perfect storm brewing in A&D. It's like 4 critical challenges all hitting at once. Let's start with the one I found, honestly, pretty shocking, this catastrophic knowledge loss. Can you believe nearly a third of the entire A&D workforce eligible for retirement in the next 5 years? That's true. That's not just people leaving, is it?
No, absolutely not. If you connect that to the bigger picture, we're talking a serious brain drain. And it's the tacit knowledge, not just stuff written down in manuals. It's the intuition, the feel, decades of hands-on experience with these unique, complex systems. Losing that, it doesn't just slow things down. It actually erodes your capability, your historical context for why things are done a certain way. It's basically irreplaceable knowledge walking away unless you capture it somehow.
And then piling onto that, you've got this other huge challenge, just skyrocketing complexity. We're talking next-gen stuff, 5th, 6th-gen fighters, hypersonics, advanced space systems. The sources say they're orders of magnitude more complex than what came before. Now, for our listeners who follow defense tech, what does orders of magnitude really mean practically for like training and maintenance?
Yeah, that's a key point. It means way more integrated systems. Software and hardware tangled together, more advanced materials. Often you can't even physically get to parts easily like you used to. So you need this incredible level of technical expertise, not just specialists, but people who get the whole system. And the old ways of training, classroom lectures, then maybe some limited time on the real, very expensive equipment. They struggle. They can't impart that deep knowledge fast enough. The learning curve isn't a curve anymore. It's like a cliff.
Wow. Okay. And if that wasn't enough,
Yeah.
all this leads to just astronomical downtime costs,
Yeah.
aircraft on ground, AOG. The sources put the cost between $150,000 and, get this, up to $2 million per day.
Per day.
Just to put that in perspective for you listening, imagine your car needs fixing, but instead of a few $100, it's millions. Every single day, that critical piece of military gear is stuck. And the sources are crystal clear. It's the time it takes to diagnose and repair that's driving these massive costs.
Right, and that often gets glossed over. People see the cost of a part, maybe, but the ripple effect of an asset being unavailable, it hits readiness, deployment schedules, our whole security posture. The longer it's grounded, the bigger the risk, the bigger the financial hole.
And then the final piece, kind of holding all this together, is the absolute zero-fail mission requirement. In A&D, operations demand absolute precision, period. One tiny maintenance mistake, one small operational slip-up, it could mean, quoting the sources, catastrophic loss of life and multi-billion-dollar assets. Read. So in a world with zero margin for error, how does that pressure interact with losing experts and facing super complex machines?
Yeah, that's the critical question, isn't it? Where the rubber meets the road. How on earth do you guarantee zero-fail conditions, that absolute precision, when you're losing your most seasoned people? And you're struggling to get new folks up to speed on machines that are vastly more complicated, and there's huge pressure to do it faster, cut downtime. It's this incredibly difficult balancing act. Yeah. Traditional methods just aren't cutting it anymore. The risk of human error, even for skilled people, it just gets amplified without better tools.
Okay, so yeah, that's a daunting picture, a set of really tangled problems. So what's the way forward? How do you find a real scalable solution? Well, our sources detail EON Reality's spatial AI ecosystem. It's described as this revolutionary platform, built specifically to tackle these challenges head-on. It's based on 4 integrated solutions. Let's get into the first one, digital twin MRO. That's maintenance, repair, and overhaul for air, land, sea, even space stuff. What does that actually look like?
What's really striking here is the fidelity, the level of detail. This isn't just, a basic 3D CAD model. The platform creates virtual hangars and depots.
Right.
These are dimensionally perfect, functionally realistic virtual copies, true digital twins of any physical asset, down to the nuts and bolts. For listeners familiar with simulators, this goes way beyond. It's like a living virtual copy you can interact with.
So think of it like having Superman's X-ray vision and an expert whispering in your ear, constantly guiding you. But it's all happening in this completely interactive virtual world. The sources talk about the spatial AI assistant. It overlays guidance, schematics, work instructions, safety warnings right onto the virtual equipment. So you, as the technician, you can literally walk around and pull parts off, even like phase inside an engine or fuselage, see how things connect without touching the real thing. So for the tech heads listening, what's driving that guidance? Is it like real-time computer vision, data fusion?
It's actually a pretty sophisticated mix. The spatial AI assistant uses real-time vision, spatial mapping. It understands where you're looking in the virtual space. Then it pulls from this massive knowledge base, schematics, repair histories, expert notes. Often there are deep learning models involved too. They interpret what you're doing, what you might do next, and they feed you exactly the right info just when you need it, like that expert over your shoulder. And given the stakes in defense, that data fusion has to be incredibly precise, super reliable.
That's a huge capability,
Mm-hmm.
especially with that knowledge drain we talked about. Which leads perfectly into solution number 2, AI-powered knowledge capture and preservation. This is where the EON memory vault comes in. It's designed to capture everything, every action, every tool choice, every bit of advice from those retiring experts. Not just what they say they do, but what they actually do. How does that turn, a lifetime of experience into something permanent?
Yeah, this is a real paradigm shift, I think. You're moving from something perishable human experience to what the sources call permanent AI mentors. And these aren't just like videos or PDFs, they're interactive training modules. They basically embody the veteran's expertise. The AI learns from their actions, their choices, their fixes. So decades of invaluable know-how gets protected. It's critical intellectual property saved before it walks out the door. That institutional knowledge becomes secure, accessible, usable 24/7, and it can even evolve.
So not just a digital library, but like a dynamic teacher. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the evolving part is key. As new repairs happen using the platform, that new data, those new solutions, they can feed back into the memory vault. It refines the AI mentors, keeps the knowledge base current. It creates this kind of self-learning loop for preservation.
Okay, third solution, advanced operator and pilot training simulators. These offer really high-fidelity emergency training, lets people practice catastrophic scenarios without risking actual billion-dollar planes or, lives. They have specific EON skill simulators for pilots, tank crews, drone operators, ship captains. Now, simulation tech has come a long way. For folks familiar with good sims, what makes these stand out? Especially this idea of stress inoculation.
Right. The differentiator is really the depth of immersion and how they use that stress inoculation. Traditional sims are good, don't get me wrong, but these XR environments, they create a sense of presence that really ramps up the psychological side. Stress inoculation here isn't just repeating tasks, it's a deliberate technique. You systematically expose people to high-stress, critical situations, engine failures, maybe cyber attacks mid-flight, complex tactical choices in a safe but incredibly real-feeling virtual space. It builds muscle memory, sure, but also mental toughness. That automatic, correct response you need when things genuinely hit the fan. The realism triggers real cognitive and emotional engagement. That makes the training stick much better for these high-stakes situations.
Yeah, that mental resilience piece is huge. Okay, and number 4, secure compliance and certification training. This uses something called the EON data flywheel. Captures every training decision, every step, every outcome. The result, an immutable audit trail. No. Immutable audit trail sounds crucial for compliance. Can you unpack the tech behind that data flywheel a bit? Is it blockchain, secure logging? What data is it actually capturing?
That's a great question, especially for A&D. The sources suggest it's likely a mix. Probably secure, tamper-proof logging, maybe elements of distributed ledger tech like blockchain to guarantee that immutability, that verifiability. It's not just a simple log file. It's capturing a whole stream of data, how the user interacts in XR, maybe biometrics showing stress levels, task metrics, time per step, diagnostic choices, even voice commands perhaps. It creates this unchangeable, time-stamped, record-proving competence, which is vital for meeting tough regulations, FAA, DoD, ITAR with objective, verifiable proof that holds up.
Okay, this whole platform, it sounds incredibly powerful. But what about the real-world impact, the bottom line? Our sources give this striking before versus after picture, some really compelling numbers that show why this is needed. Look at operational improvements. Before EON, AOG response, just the diagnostic time averaged a painful 48 to 72 hours. With digital twin guidance, that plummets to just 12 to 24 hours. What's driving that massive jump?
Yeah, that 12 to 24-hour figure is huge. It's driven by a few things working together. First, just the speed and precision of info. No more digging through binders or trying to decipher flat diagrams. The spatial AI assistant puts the exact info needed right there in context on the virtual asset. Second, the AI's own diagnostic smarts. It guides the tech through troubleshooting, checking against past data, known faults. And third, just being able to see it in interactive 3D cuts down misinterpretations massively. Visualizing complex internal systems becomes intuitive. That whole combination just slashes the time to find the root cause.
Makes total sense. And the first-time fix rate used to be dismal, like 15–20%. Jumped up to 85–90% with AI guidance. That's transformative. And that problem of expert knowledge just vanishing. Poof. Gone. Replaced by permanent AI mentors preserving everything. Training shifts from dull classrooms and limited hands-on time to immersive XR. Unlimited practice, zero risk. Sources also mentioned a big one, a 20% cut in overall platform downtime. That means 20 fewer AOG days annually per fleet. Per fleet. That's substantial.
Oh, it's absolutely transformative. A 20% downtime reduction means way more operational readiness, fewer missions scrubbed, ultimately a stronger defense posture. These aren't small tweaks. They fundamentally change the efficiency, the reliability of these critical assets. That's where you really see the strategic value kick in.
And the ROI, the financial side, is just as stark. Immediate savings. That 20% downtime cut saves about $4 million a year for a typical fleet. Just like that. Plus, a 70% drop in time to competency for technicians. Saves around $140,000 per tech and training and lost productivity costs. They calculate a conservative 300% return on $1 million platform investment in the first year. These aren't just, nice savings. What's the bigger national security angle here?
Right, connecting this to the bigger picture. These aren't just savings, they're vital investments. Investments in national security, in long-term tech leadership, operational dominance. It literally makes our defense systems safer, more reliable, ultimately just more capable. And beyond the dollars, think about the strategic value. Knowledge becomes a permanent asset. Safety improves, preventing those catastrophic losses. Compliance becomes objective, less risky, long-term. You build workforce resilience, you lead in technology, attract talent, and you get mission superiority because your people are better trained.
Clearly a game changer. The sources also mention briefly how they roll this out, a phased approach. MRO excellence and expert knowledge capture are priority one. Right out of the gate. Why start there? What are the quick wins and maybe the hurdles in that first phase?
Yeah, prioritizing MRO and knowledge capture first makes total strategic sense for quick impact. MRO is where so much cost and downtime happens. Fix that, you see immediate gains in readiness and budget. And knowledge capture, that's a race against the clock with retirements looming. Doing both together creates this powerful synergy. You stop the knowledge bleed while empowering the remaining folks with better tools. The wins are obvious. Faster diagnostics, better fix rates, saving critical know-how. The challenges, well, integrating something this advanced into existing, sometimes old, processes, getting everyone on board, change management, basically. But the need, the urgency, seems to far outweigh those hurdles.
And this isn't just like a lab experiment. It's being deployed, integrated into the real A&D world. The sources talk about a strong partnership strategy, direct integration with the big primes, Lockheed, Boeing, Northrop, Raytheon, collaboration with DoD program offices, Air Force, Navy, Army, Space Force, FAA too. What's the importance of having such diverse partners for something this big?
That wide partnership net is crucial. Absolutely.
Right.
Working with the primes means integrating this right from the design stage, building digital twins and knowledge capture into new platforms from day one. DoD collaboration keeps it aligned with national security needs, gets direct user feedback, vital. Then you have the OEM and supply chain links that ensures accuracy from the smallest component up to the final system. Total lifecycle view. And integrating with MRO providers makes it the standard for training and certification where the actual maintenance happens. It's a holistic strategy, ensures it gets adopted everywhere it needs to be for maximum effect.
You mentioned the tech foundation earlier, 20+ years in XR. Cross-platform support, DoD cybersecurity, ITAR compliance. For a system handling super sensitive defense data, how do those pieces create a secure, robust ecosystem? And what about making it work smoothly across different headsets, different platforms?
Yeah, the foundation is everything. EON Reality's decades in XR mean their tech is mature, enterprise-ready, not just a novelty. Cross-platform support making it work on MetaQuest, HoloLens, etc. That's really complex engineering. Each device is different. Getting a consistent, high-quality experience across them takes serious skill in rendering, interaction, data syncing, and security. Meeting DoD's cyber and ITAR rules isn't just checking boxes. It means hardcore encryption, access control, secure data handling, constant monitoring for threats, especially with potentially classified data or IP involved. The cloud architecture helps too scalable, secure backend, global access, but locked down tight.
And the urgency just jumps off the page with quotes from the sources like, the readiness and capability of the U.S. aerospace and defense workforce is not a logistical detail. It is a central pillar of national security. And the flat statement, the time to act is now. This feels like more than just adopting cool tech. It's a fundamental shift in thinking about readiness. So it makes you wonder, how does this kind of transformation change things beyond just maintenance and training, like how systems are designed, developed? And what about other industries facing similar issues?
That's the really big long-term impact, right? This forces a shift towards design for maintainability, design for trainability right from the start. Engineers will have to think about the digital twin, knowledge capture, XR maintenance while they're designing the physical thing. That should lead to systems that are inherently more robust, easier to diagnose, more adaptable. And for other complex fields, energy, healthcare, advanced manufacturing, absolutely. Any sector with an aging workforce and rising complexity can look at this spatial AI plus XR model. It's a potential blueprint for transferring knowledge, speeding up skills, building resilience. It could change how we interact with complex systems everywhere.
So I've taken a really deep dive today. We've seen how spatial AI isn't just, some fancy tech. It's a critical strategic tool for national security, for operational efficiency, for saving priceless human expertise. We looked at how it directly tackles that brain drain, the insane complexity, the huge downtime costs, and those absolute zero-fail mission needs in A&D. EON and Reality's platform, the digital twins, AI mentors, advanced sims, the audit trails, it offers a clear way to boost readiness dramatically. And the ROI looks compelling. So here's something to chew on as we wrap up. What if this model, spatial AI plus XR, for knowledge capture and immersive skills, what if it's not just for defense? What if it holds the key to preserving critical expertise across every aging industry? Specialized manufacturing, healthcare, vital infrastructure, you name it. What would that mean for the global workforce? For how we pass knowledge down the generations? Lots to think about there. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring.